There's a lamp in the corner by the window that still burns every night. Not too bright, just enough to keep the kitchen soft with light. I used to say it helped the room feel less empty after dark, but truth is I just couldn't stand how cold this house got once you weren't in it. It's got that old worn shade you like, a little bent along the seam, and every evening when I pull the chain it feels like waking up a dream. I tell myself it's just a habit, like locking doors or checking time, but some habits are just grief, learning how to hide in plain sight. The lamp I never turned off still glows against the wall, like some part of me believed you might still come through after all. And I know better now, I do, but some things don't shut down. The lamp I never turned off still burns when night comes round. There's a chair beside the table that still catches half its glow, and some nights I swear the room looks right for 1 second, soft and whole. Then the silence settles back in, and the floorboards take your place, and I sit there with that little light, like it still remembers your face. The lamp I never turned off still glows against the wall, like some part of me believed you might still come through after all. And I know better now, I do, but some things don't shut down. The lamp I never turned off still burns when night comes round. I ain't saying I'm still waiting, not the way I used to do. I'm just saying there are evenings that still make room for you. And maybe love don't always leave in some clean and final way. Maybe sometimes it stays lit low at the end of every day. The lamp I never turned off still warms this tight old room, like if I let that light go dark, I'd lose what's left of you. And I know that sounds like nothing till you've sat where I sit now. The lamp I never turned off still burns when night comes down. Still burns. Still burns when night comes down. Still burns. There's a bend past Miller's fence line where the gravel starts to slow, and the trees leaning like old friends, saying, boy, we still know. There's a mailbox barely standing, there's a ditch that floods in spring, and every mile out on this road still remember little things. I ain't been back here in a long while, not the way I used to be, but my hand still found that wheel turn like it never really left me. And the evening sat so easy on the hood and on the fields, like this road was never asking what a man had failed to heal. Someone still knows this road, even if I don't all the time. Someone in me still turns homeward when the daylight starts to die. And I don't know what's still waiting at the end of all I've known, but someone still knows this road and how to get me home. There's a dog bark from a yard I know. There's a porch fan humming low. There's a little bit of supper light and windows starting to glow. And I swear for one brief second everything sat still and true, like the world hadn't spent all these years learning how to live without you. Someone still knows this road, even if I don't all the time. Someone in me still turns homeward when the daylight starts to die. And I don't know what's still waiting at the end of all I've known, but someone still knows this road and how to get me home. Now, I used to think that leaving meant you cut the whole thing clean, but some roads stay under your skin like old prayers and gasoline. And maybe home ain't where you left it. Maybe home is what survives in the part of you still heading toward that old familiar life. Someone still knows this road, even if I've changed too much. Someone in me still leans toward that little house at dusk. And I don't know what's still waiting or what's gone for good by now, but someone still knows this road, and that's enough somehow. Still knows this road, still knows this road, and that's enough somehow. Still knows this road. There's a place by the front room doorway where the light falls thin at dusk, and every evening hits its same spot, like time still trusting us. I still catch myself looking over when the floorboard shifter settle, like some part of me still listens for a hand I know too well. There's a coat hook by the frame there, still bent from years of use, and I swear that old brass doorknob still holds the shape of you. I ain't touched the paint that chipped off right where your ring once caught. Funny what a man can live beside it and still pretend he's not. By the door you never opened, I still lose whole evenings there, standing where the silence gathers like you're almost in the air. And I know that sounds like nothing till you live with almost love. By the door you never opened, I still feel what never was. Sometimes the screen door shakes a little when the weather turns just right, and my whole chest goes toward it before my mind can stop the light. And I ain't saying I still wait there, not the way I did back then. I'm just saying there are places where a man don't fully mend. By the door you never opened, I still lose whole evenings there, standing where the silence gathers like you're almost in the air. And I know that sounds like nothing till you live with almost love. By the door you never opened, I still feel what never was. And maybe that's the cruelest thing, not the gone but the near, how they almost stay alive for years and years and years. And maybe home ain't just where love stayed, maybe home's where it missed by one old porch step and one late knock that never hit. By the door you never opened, I still stop there after dark, like some part of me still believes you know exactly where we are. And I know life keeps moving, and I know what's done is done, but by the door you never open, I still feel what never comes. Never open, never open. I still feel what never comes. There's a chair out on the porch that catches all the last of light, wood gone smooth in all the places where your hands used to rest at night. And every evening right at sundown, when the sky goes soft and thin, that old chair starts looking like it might just hold you once again. It leans a little to the left now, like it learned your shape too long, and the quiet gathers round it like the house knows something's wrong. I ain't moved it in a long time, couldn't say exactly why, but some things stay where love last sat till the years go passing by. A chair beneath the evening still holds more than wood and air. There are nights I swear the silence still sits down with you right there. And I know that sounds like nothing till you've loved and had to leave, but there's a whole lot of a person in a chair beneath the evening. There's a coffee ring on the armrest that I never wiped away, and one old cushion still dips down like memories got weight. Sometimes I take my supper out there and just listen to the bugs, and let that little stretch of twilight say the things we never could. A chair beneath the evening still holds more than wooden air. There are nights I swear the silence still sits down with you right there. And I know that sounds like nothing till you've loved and had to leave, but there's a whole lot of a person in a chair beneath the evening. Maybe love don't always vanish, maybe sometimes it just stays still, in the shape of what once held it, and somehow always will. And maybe home ain't all four walls, maybe home is one old scene. One porch, one chair, one quiet hour beneath the evening. A chair beneath the evening still waits where the light turns gold, like some part of this house still knows how your body used to fold. And I know life keeps moving, and I know what memory is, but there's a whole lot of your absence in a chair beneath the evening. Beneath the evening. Beneath the evening. There's a whole lot of your absence beneath the evening. Back when the screen door sang, you could hear it clear from the yard. That rusty little spring and slam meant somebody just come home. It had a sound all of its own, half complaint, half relief, like even that old frame of wood knew the shape of family. He'd push through with groceries in your arms, or step out laughing in the dust. And every time that old thing hit, it left a little life in us. And Lord, I never thought much of it back when it happened every day. Funny what turns holy later once it's all been taken away. But when the screen door sang, this whole house felt alive, like somebody was always coming, staying one more night. Now the air still moves, but it don't hit the same. Lord, I miss the way this house once sounded when the screen door sang. Now it barely shuts behind me, and the spring's about half gone. Sometimes it gives a tired little rattle, like it's trying to carry on. And some evenings when the weather shifts and the porch board's cool just right, I swear I hear that old sound again, and my whole chest turns toward the light. When the screen door sang, this whole house felt alive, like somebody was always coming, staying when the screen door sang, this old house felt alive, like every room was holding some small piece of better times. And now the evening falls, but it don't fall the same. Lord, I miss the way this life once sounded when the screen door sang. When the screen door sang. When the screen door sang. I miss the way this life once sounded when the screen door sang. Dishes dried beside the sink. The TV hummed and then went dark. The last bit of daylight slipped off the floorboards and the walls. And I was just about to get up, turn the lamp down, call it done, when the whole room changed its breathing, like the night had finally come in. Not loud, not cold, not cruel, just quiet in a deeper way, like something old and patient had decided it would stay. It settled in beside my chair, like it knew me well by now, like it didn't need permission to be in this house somehow. The night sat down beside me, like it had nowhere else to be. For a while I let it stay, like some old company. Didn't ask for answers, didn't ask me to explain. The night sat down beside me and wore your shape again. I could hear the porch fan turning, hear the screen door breathe the frame, hear the household, all its little sounds, like they still knew your name. And I ain't saying I felt haunted, not the way some folks might mean. I'm just saying there are evenings when absence feels almost seen. The night sat down beside me, like it had nowhere else to be. And for a while I let it stay, like some old company. Didn't ask for answers, didn't ask me to explain. The night sat down beside me and wore your shape again. Maybe grief ain't always thunder, maybe sometimes it's this low. A room, a chair, a lamp left on and nowhere left to go. And maybe love don't leave the house as fast as people do. Maybe sometimes all that's left still comes and sits with you. The night sat down beside me and I didn't make it leave, just let it breathe there in the dark, like something I could keep. And I know that sounds like sadness, but it felt more true than pain. The night sat down beside me and wore your shape again. Sat down beside me, sat sat down beside me. And wore your shape again. Sat down beside me. Your coffee cup still on the counter, lip mark faded on the side. The kitchen holds that late day quiet, like it ain't done with you tonight. There's a crease still in the pillow, there's your jacket on the rail, and every room in this old house feels one breath behind farewell. I ran my hand across the table, and I swear the wood knew how to keep a little bit of something long after it should cool down. And maybe that's what grief is made of, not the gone but what remains, that little bit of human weather still hanging in a place, still warm from yesterday. That's how this whole house feels, like the day ain't fully left yet, like some part of you is still real. And I know the night keeps moving, and I know time does what it does, but some things don't go cold that easy. Still warm from yesterday. There's a towel still by the sink there, folded how you used to do, and one old spoon left in the drainer, like supper might still happen soon. And all these little ordinary things keep hitting me the same, not because they're sad exactly, but because they still know your name. Still warm from yesterday. That's how this whole house feels, like the day ain't fully lived yet, like some part of you is still real. And I know the night keeps moving, and I know time does what it does, but some things don't go cold that easy. Still warm from yesterday. Now the lost, but what still glows, how the life you had can leave and still be somewhere in the folds. And maybe healing ain't forgetting, maybe it's just learning how to live beside the little warmth that hasn't left you now. Still warm from yesterday. That's how I've been too, I guess. Like some part of me still holding what the years ain't taken yet. And I know the night keeps moving, and I know time does what it does, but some things don't go cold that easy. Still warm from yesterday. Still warm from yesterday. Still warm from yesterday. Some things don't go cold that easy. Still warm from yesterday. There's a light out on the front porch I still flip on every night. Not for company much anymore, just to keep a little mercy in sight. It throws gold across the railing, hits the steps and the gravel line, like the house still knows how to say, you ain't too late, come inside. I used to think it was for you, if you ever changed your mind. But somewhere in these quiet years, the reason changed with time. Now I guess it's for whoever needs one small thing still lit. One old house saying softly, you can rest a while in this. Funny how one little light can hold more grace than a whole lot of words. It's a porch light for the lost, for the late and the worn through, for the hearts that miss their turn somewhere and don't know what to do. And maybe I'm one of them too. Maybe that's why it stays on, just a porch light for the lost, till the dark moves on. There's nights the bugs circle round it like tiny prayers with wings, and the air smells like cut grass and rain and old unfinished things. And I sit there with my coffee, what's left of it gone cold, and let that little square of yellow say what I ain't been told. I ain't saying this house can save you, I ain't saying light can heal. I'm just saying there's something human in keeping one thing real, one thing warm against the blackness, one thing steady, one thing small, one quiet sign that somebody still means shelter after all. Funny how the smallest things can keep a soul from drifting too far. It's a porch light for the lost, for the late and the worn through, for the hearts that miss their turn somewhere and don't know what to do. And maybe I'm one of them too. Maybe that's why it stays on, just a porch light for the lost, till the dark moves on. Maybe home ain't always found, maybe sometimes it's just shown in one soft light against the dark, saying you ain't out there alone. And maybe love don't always fix things, maybe sometimes this is enough, a little glow beside the door for anyone still lost. It's a porch light for the lost, for the ones still walking slow, for the hearts still carrying names they ain't figured how to let go. And maybe I'm one of them too. Maybe that's what keeps it on, just a porch light for the lost, till the night is gone. Porch light for the lost, porch light for the lost. Maybe I'm one of them too. Porch light for the lost. porch light don't burn like it used to. It flickers some nights, then it's gone. Like even that old stubborn bulb got tired of holding on. There's dust where your boots used to settle. There's silence where laughter would fall. And this house that once knew your footsteps don't listen that hard anymore. The chair's still there by the window, but it don't lean toward the door. And the floorboards don't answer like they did when you walked here before. I used to swear this place remembered every breath, every sound. Now it feels like it's slowly forgetting what it held all those years down. This is a house that waited too long, kept the light on past the end, kept a space at the table for someone who never came in. And I thought it would hold forever, like the love it was built on. But even a home gives out eventually if it's waited too long. There's a crack in the door frame now, wasn't there back then. And the wind slips in a little easier through what we couldn't mend. I still sit in the same place evenings, but it don't feel like before. Like the house has finally learned not to listen for you at the door. This is a house that waited too long, kept the light on past the end, kept a space at the table for someone who never came in. And I thought it would hold forever, like the love it was built on. But even a home gives out eventually if it's waited too long. Maybe that's the hardest truth, now they're gone, but what gives way? How the things that once held everything still can't forever stay. Maybe mercy ain't in keeping every door unlocked all night. Maybe mercy's finally closing what no one's coming back to find. This is the house that waited too long, and I stayed with it as it did. Watch the light grow dim each evening where your shadow used to live. And I know there's something past this, but I ain't there just yet, I won't. This is a house that waited too long and finally learned you don't. Waited too long, waited too long, and finally learned you don't. Waited too long. There's one light left on the porch tonight, soft as a tired old hymn. Not for strangers now, not for return, just for the life that once lived here. And I sit beneath that amber glow with the crickets and the dark, like every year I couldn't hold still found its way into my heart. This old house has said what it could say, in creaks and cups and doors and screen wire songs and kitchen chairs and shadows on the floor. And I guess that's what these songs have been, just little ways to keep a few warm things from going cold, a few names from falling deep. These are ballads from the last porch light, from the edge of what remains, from the rooms that learn to hold their breath and still whisper someone's name. And if love don't leave all at once, then maybe neither do we. These are ballads from the last porch light, still burning quietly. I ain't singing for a crowd tonight, ain't singing to be heard, just laying down these little truths the way old houses do in wood, about the things that stay in objects, about the heat that lingers low, about the porch and lamp and hallway and the love that learned to glow. These are ballads from the last porch light, from the edge of what remains, from the rooms that learn to hold their breath and still whisper someone's name. And if love don't leave all at once, then maybe neither do we. These are ballads from the last porch light, still burning quietly. So here's to every chair at sundown, every lamp left low and warm, every little household sorrow that somehow kept a soul from storm. And here's to every man still sitting with the dark and what he's known, learning some things don't come back but still can feel like home. These are ballads from the last porch light, from the far side of the years, from the places that kept glowing long after no one else was here. And if love don't leave all at once, then maybe neither do we. These are ballads from the last porch light, still burning quietly. Last porch light, last porch light, still burning quietly. Last porch light.